What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Investing. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. So I just wanted to make a follow-up video on the S&P 500 index and give you guys a quick update on where the next key support and resistance levels are and what are some of those price levels that I'm watching very closely. So if you enjoy this video, please make sure to drop a like because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and recommends this video to other people who might be interested in watching as well. Also, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future market updates, videos related to investing, and technical breakdowns. So make sure that you hit that notification bell so every time I post a market update, which is again going to be a little bit time sensitive, you don't miss out on those videos. So right now we're looking at the S&P 500 index. So currently we're down about 2.3%. Again, there's a huge sell-off in the markets taking place today. So we are seeing all the major indices down today. So if you go over to the US markets, Nasdaq down about 2%, S&P 500 down close to about 2.3%, and the Dow Jones is trading at 25,500, down about 2.5%. So if you go over to the world indices, so you can see that Euro Stoxx 50 down about 2%. And if you go over to Sensex, Nifty, which are going to be in the Indian stock market, down about 1.5 to 2. And then if you scroll further down, you can see the Russell 2000 again down about more than 3%. So Nikkei is down close to about 7 basis points. So the market indices around the world are taking a hit today because of this sell-off that we're seeing right now. But I also wanted to talk about the video that I posted earlier today, this morning, essentially going over the wave of selling that is expected to take place later this week going into next week, because we only have about 5 trading days left to close out the quarter, including today's trading session. So a lot of the pension funds are looking to rebalance their portfolios, and they could potentially sell some of their stocks and move to much safer investments like bonds and gold. So I will do a separate analysis on analyzing the bond market and gold in general, but for this video I wanted to give you guys an update on the S&P 500. So we have very well identified the 3150 level in all of my previous market updates. That's a level that the S&P 500 has essentially gotten rejected not once, not twice, but multiple times, going back as far as June 16th when it hit that level at 3150. Pulled back, and then again on June 19th, and then it pushed up, essentially tested that level as high as 3155, and then pulled back again, and then more recently on June 23rd touched that level again at 3154, and then we are seeing this huge sell-off, which makes sense because in my previous market update I essentially mentioned that this right here is the lower lows that we're seeing the pattern make, right? The S&P 500 has had this pent-up supply at 3150, but from a support level we can make the same argument. It doesn't have a very concrete support because it's been going lower than it did previously, but it's not going as high as it did previously because it's making the same resistance, but it's making lower lows. So this right here was the gap that needed to be filled by the S&P 500, which we are seeing right now, and it did go as low as 3032, which can potentially act as a support moving forward because it sold off down to that level and then it pushed up. So right now we're trading right around this level, so you guys can see we're down about 3060 level. So moving forward, where do I see the pattern going in the near future? Where do I see those key support and resistance levels? So moving forward, there's going to be a very key support level at around the 3000 level, which is going to be the low for this candle at around 2965. So if you were to break the low for the day today, which is at around 3030, then I see the pattern pulling back even further down 2% to its 3000 level support. Now that being said, this channel that we have recognized can very well act as an ongoing support for the S&P 500. So if you were to extend this down to here, I can see the pattern pushing up now. So it's validating the body is right around this low, and it can very well close right around this level. So I do see a lot of consolidation rest of the day. I mean, if the pattern does reverse, or if we do see a bullish move up back up to 3155, which is very likely, depends on what the Fed says and how they react to this major sell-off. But looking at it right now, you guys can see that this support is being validated. And if you were to pull back on the chart even more and show you guys kind of like the grand scheme of things, we have recognized this trend channel within which the S&P 500 has been trading, making higher highs and higher lows. So that's again something that I will be watching very closely due to the fact that now it is being validated. So if you were to highlight that trend channel, you guys can see that it pushed up around this level, consolidated before breaking out of that level all the way up to 3235, pulled back, started consolidating, and then now, and you can see that this support is confirmed on many different technicals based on the fact that it's been making lower lows. but also the fact that it's been making higher lows. So now moving forward, where do I see the patterns going and where do I see some of those key support and resistance levels? I'm going to go ahead and put a price target right here, which is going to be a key support level for the S&P 500 moving forward, in my opinion, due to the fact that that's where the higher low falls because of this trend channel that we have recognized. The resistance stays at around 3150, which is going to be a very strong supply for the S&P 500, and if eventually we are able to break out of that level, which is going to be a jump of close to about 3.5 to 4%, and then moving on to its highs from back on June 8th, which is going to be close to about 7%. But it also depends if there's volume to follow up with it. If it's a really thinly traded session and if the volume fades away, then we might get rejected here once again. So now let's just jump over to the 5-minute chart and I will show you guys what the pattern looks like and where do I see the S&P 500 futures going. So this right here is the huge sell-off that we are witnessing. The market essentially dropped from 3114 all the way down to lows of 3030, giving us a drop of close to about 2.66%. But as I said earlier, I do see the markets now consolidating for the rest of the day, and they are making lower highs, but at the same time, they are also making higher lows. So depending on the volume, I do see a breakout or a breakdown moving past 3:30 around the last hour of the day, because that's where the most volume is going to be, and we are approaching kind of like this wedge triangle area, which is going to essentially force the pattern to break out or break down in either direction based on multiple different factors such as volume, catalyst, news, price action, things like that. So I will personally keep a close eye on these levels. One of them is going to be 3057. The other one is going to be 3065, which are going to be very clear resistance levels on a more day-to-day basis, and then support being at around 3038, and then another support at around today's low, which is going to be around 3030, which we have recognized on the 4-hour and the daily chart. So moving forward, these are going to be some key levels to watch on a day-to-day basis on the 5-minute chart, because like I said, it's approaching this wedge triangle. The last hour of the day can be really volatile based on high volume. That's going to determine where the direction goes moving forward, going into tomorrow, going into next week. So some levels that I'm going to closely be watching, I'm going to go ahead and create some alerts just so I get notified if the pattern is breaking out or breaking down of those levels. Again, I will be posting the S&P 500 futures update later today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to quickly follow up on the intraday pattern because one of our viewers essentially commented asking for an update. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to drop a like. It really helps out with the channel and recommends this video to other people who might be interested in watching as well. Also, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates related to the markets, investing, and technical breakdowns. As always, happy investing, and I will see you guys in the next video.